Alright, so I'm actually not back with a gaming video like I was planning on doing today. When I was on the YouTubes, I noticed Charlottesville had an incident over the weekend. I just wanted to discuss it and give my opinion. From what I understand of the situation is that the alt-right, or whatever they want to be called, was going to have a protest of pretty much removing a Confederate hero, Lee, I believe. I don't exactly know the whole details. They filed a permit for them to be there. The local government revoked it, and the ACLU defended them, countersued the local government, and got their permit back in. That's that's kind of like the history of the legal side that I'm aware of. As you can see, I don't know if you can really trust Vox.com, but I just wanted to verify that this group was defending them. Wanted to get it from a semi-reputable source, the news organization. Like I said, I don't really trust Vox there, but still, as a hard bastard says, you should do news sources by story, not by the medium. So yeah, so that's the history. So they got their permit back. They started the rally. Then Antifa and Black Lives Matter people joined into the fray, as you can say. Uh, yeah, especially when those three get together, very often it becomes less civil rather quickly. Um, there's also reports that the local government, the governor itself, pulled the permit at the last minute, even though they were already set to go. And that's kind of like the topic of this video. Now, I don't really care about the alt-right. I don't really care about their views. Don't really maybe even agree with any of their views or very little of their views. But what I will do is I will defend their right to free speech and to peacefully assemble. Doesn't mean I agree with their message. And then same thing with Black Lives Matter. I will defend their right to peacefully assemble and have their voice heard. I don't exactly agree with their methods either. And of course, Antifa as well. Doesn't matter what group you're part of. Here in America, we have the First Amendment, which is the freedom of speech, freedom of peacefully assembling. That's right, peacefully assembling. Now, that does not mean that a group of hoodlums, or let's just say this is the KKK, since it's literally right there. Right there. Let's say they were coming together. From what I could tell, most of their gatherings are peaceful. But hypothetically speaking, let's say they were gathering in at the town square and just to assemble. Now they're hyping each other up, having a little good old time, spreading their word. I'm actually for that. I mean, I don't really care. Now the word, let's say hypothetically speaking, they started going on rounding up non-white people and hanging them from the trees. That's where I would draw the line. When they're no longer peacefully assembling and start actually rioting and causing harm to other people or physical damage to property, that's where I draw the line. As I say, I believe in free speech, and I think what happened in Virginia violates their First Amendment. Like I said, I don't care about their message. I've researched them very little. I know that other people have researched them a great deal. and came to their own opinion from what they reported on. The alt-right values don't align with mine. I will say that. Now, like I said, I don't know what all happened. I mean, I do know that there's a car that killed at least one person and injured, I think, 19 or 20 people. It said that's more being developed, so I can't really speak on that other than that happened. But the whole part of this video is we must protect our right to free speech. It doesn't matter who says it or what their message is. As long as they are saying it, as long as they're verbally speaking their message and not going out rioting, hitting people, or hanging people, as long as they're saying it, that is considered free speech. I think what the governor did, or even the mayor as well, like I said, I don't know about the mayor. I think they're in the wrong. I think the alt-right might actually have a good case against this state. And I believe on a legal standpoint, now keep in mind, on a legal standpoint, it doesn't matter what the views are. On a legal standpoint, it's based off of facts and whether or not their rights were violated. The law doesn't care about their message, doesn't care what they represent, doesn't even care if they're on the wrong side of history. They will judge the situation and they determine if what the governor did, what this state and city did, violated their right to peacefully assemble. And it looks like the alt-right was doing everything legally by applying for a permit to assemble. That's something I'm not really aware of, that you have to have a permit, but I understand. I think this is an attack on free speech, and just because it's a group that I don't agree with or their values do not align with mine does not mean you get to shut it down. Like I said, I have the same beliefs on the actual organization Black Lives Matter. I'm not going to say every member is bad, but there is a loud, maybe minority, but a loud presence within that group that my values don't align with theirs. But I will defend their right to peacefully assemble and let their message be heard. It is also our right whether or not we want to listen or agree with that message. It is entirely up to us and how we want to receive it, or if we want to receive it at all. Let's say an organization was peacefully assembling at a certain street, and I don't agree with their values. I could just avoid that street, or I could go participate and actually listen what they have to say, hear their arguments, and use their arguments to come up with my own opinion. Now, if I disagree with their viewpoints, I could definitely take what I heard or what I read on that particular group and use their arguments against them. Let's say, I don't know, yeah, the KKK, since it's highlighted. I don't agree with their stance that we should round up all the black people and make them slaves again. I don't necessarily agree with that. And let's say that they were in a position to actually have a valid argument for people to actually listen, and bills were being passed to bring back slavery. I would definitely speak up and say that bill should not be passed. But however, they have the right to say that. Like I said, I draw the line when it comes to actual actions, not the rhetoric. That's it. But like I said, this kind of sparked my interest this morning. I was doing more research on it. Basically, I don't know really how to digest all of this, because there's a whole lot going on. There's a whole lot of cogs in what's going on. from what I understand, you got three groups that don't mix well all together with low police presence, and then next thing you know, riot gear or police in riot gear came and shut down the alt-right. I have not seen any stories of them shutting down Antifa or Black Lives Matter. So I don't know if I can make that assessment that they were there for everyone or just the alt-right. But everything I've been reading was just them shutting down the alt-right and not the other groups. This is kind of a trend I've been seeing throughout the stories, is that you can have groups like Antifa or Black Lives Matter literally riot, destroy property, and nothing comes of it. And they're like, I don't know, it's like people just watching like, how does this happen? Why is the police not getting involved stopping it? Like I said, there's plenty of videos on the web showing what Black Lives chant as they're walking. I'm not going to repeat it because I don't really care to, because that's not part of my value. What they're chanting goes against what I believe. That's about all. Like I said, I believe that free speech in America is under attack. If we silence people that we don't agree with, then what makes you think that they're not going to silence you on a belief that you believe in? Doesn't matter if it's valid or absurd or crazy. Hell, you can even say something that's factual, that's based on science, and they may silence you because it doesn't fit their narrative, and that's a dangerous precedent to set. But yeah, that's pretty much how I feel. That's my opinion. Is that it doesn't matter who. Kind of like that West Warrow whatever Baptist Church. I support their right to say what they say. I don't agree with their message, and I agree with any measures to distance themselves from any funerals that they may be at. But I think I rambled on. I think in closing, we must protect free speech, and we must protect speech that we don't agree with. That's it. Have yourself a wonderful day. If you're watching, thank you for watching.